When I first saw it live, I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen. When I watched the replay, it's only one more round, Chris. Out of those
Yeah,
close rounds, if you just give one more round to Beterbiev, then that's where you get the A4. So
yeah.
people yelling robbery, it's like maybe you've never seen a robbery before. Maybe you've never seen Colbert versus Valenzuela. Maybe you've never seen Chavez versus Whitaker. Maybe you never seen Mayweather versus Castillo, because those are robberies. This was a close fight where one round could have made the difference.
Yeah. Now, first of all, like I had to fight 7-5 for Bivol, and that's me, trying to be as impartial, trying to be as round by round to the, that's me being that. If I wanted to stretch it, I could be like, I think we both boxed them enough to win to steal a round or to win a round, and then I would have it 8-4. But 7-5 for me feels right. If you, I'm the same way. I wouldn't be mad at a draw, but that's because I favor the boxing in this fight. And again, it becomes subjective. I can clearly see how people might favor Beterbiev based on the volume. If you're rewarding the guy that's taking the fight to somebody, putting out punches, and that's the way some of the judges, in my opinion, judge that fight. And we must remember when you see the fight in person, it's a little different than when you see it on TV. In person, people are definitely gonna, support the aggressor. You don't always see every single punch landing or not, but you just love that the aggressive nature. When I was at the People Cruz fight, I was favoring People Cruz. I was like, from my vantage point, I was like, this guy's taking the fight. I can see him winning some of the rounds, but when I thought on TV, I was like, all right, I guess Valenzuela was up boxing him, doing what he needed to do. Like I see the punches landing more for Valenzuela, so my mind changed. So me just seeing this on TV and seeing it like run it back a second time and a third time, I just favor the boxing style of Bivol. Again, he didn't look the most comfortable in there. Who does? Who's gonna feel comfortable in there with the Beterbiev? But just round by round, I felt like he did more to win him, to seal him. I agree. The rounds that he did lose, he got bullied, straight up bullied. But again, it's the 3 rounds at the beginning, the 4 rounds at the beginning are just they count the same as the last 4 in the championship rounds. I know people remember the last ones more, but they count all the same. And so again, I wouldn't be mad at a 7-5 for Bivol. I wouldn't be mad at a 7-5 for Beterbiev. But when it's very stretched, like 116 to 112, 117, those are the ones that are like that's a little too much. But I I, I think we got to run it back. And who do you think is favored in the rematch if they run it back right away?
I think the rematch is more 50-50 than what I considered before this fight. Um, and I think that because Beterbiev is only getting older. As I said, I think if this fight would have happened at its original date of June 1st, I think Beterbiev, I don't think he would have had much trouble stopping Bivol. I know for some people it's a hot take, but for me it's not. I think we saw a Beterbiev who also was getting gassed, halfway through the fight. You saw his corner, waving the towels, you know, trying to keep him cool. Um, he hadn't fought since January. It's not a whole lot of time off, but he did have to take some time off for the injury. Who knows if he was 100%? So, I think the more time that passes, advantage Bivol. I think this was the moment for him. I think he will be kicking himself when he watches the replay that he couldn't close out some of the rounds. As I said, I find it hard to believe that people were scoring rounds for him when he was literally going 30 seconds to a minute without throwing a punch and just backing away side to side on the ropes while Beterbiev is trying to stop him. You know, but yeah, I think it's still a close fight if they fight again. However, I don't know if you heard the comments by Bivol after the fight. He had like a 20-minute interview or something where he was getting candid with some of the details. I like the honesty. I didn't like that he was saying this stuff, considering that they might have a rematch.
Mm. I didn't see everything, but I did see some snippets. What exactly did he say, Joe?
Could have gone either way, uh, but what happens happens. However it goes, nobody won nor lost the fight by 4 points, so that's ridiculous. Which is why I say we need an immediate rematch. Both guys did a lot to change. Beterbiev showed me more than he's ever shown me before about being a boxer. He actually can box, and I was surprised. Bivol was a very good defender, which we knew. He was a good counterpuncher, which we knew. He jumped out to the early lead, I thought, but we never know. But however it comes down, Beterbiev did finish the fight strong or stronger. So that's why I think, in my point of view, the fight should be a draw. And let's get a rematch. You heard me? Yes. By the head. Yeah.
All right, so that's the last undisputed champion at 175, Roy Jones Jr., saying he thought it was a draw. So, look, it was a close fight. So, people saying robbery, I don't know what the hell you guys are watching. Um, I'm guessing that's a lot of people who hate Canelo, who were like overrating Bivol, maybe. A lot of people who were voting for Bivol in the polls. Maybe it was a lot of the people who were saying Bivol was going to win by stoppage. I don't know, but to me, yelling robbery in a close fight that was close on the cards. It was a majority decision. It's not like somebody scored it 118, 110 or whatever. Uh, yeah, definitely wasn't a robbery. Iceman says exactly. Roy Jones Jr. He agrees with that. He was asking, why was the president of Chechnya in the ring with Beterbiev celebrating? I wasn't aware. I'm sure there was a lot of heavy hitters there. Um, every time Bivol got greedy, says Nerd, with combos, Beterbiev would respond and took his play away, didn't allow momentum to build. Yeah. This was definitely a hard fight for both fighters. Beterbiev looked frustrated and perplexed at times as well. Yeah, it was not an easy fight. Beterbiev is definitely not used to this. Beeble is definitely not used to it either. You saw at the end, both men weren't very happy. Beterbiev didn't even raise his hand really after the fight, and it was interesting. We know both men are kind of quiet, humble, cold, but at the end of the fight, they didn't even hug Chris. It was just like a quick fist bump, and they went to their corners and waited for the scorecard. So, as I said, this is their attitudes of champions. Bivol said, I make no excuses." He leaves that up to the judges. He said he wasn't very happy. He could have done more, you know. But yeah, let me see if I can find his other, because he talked about Canelo's power compared to Beterbiev, and he talked about the damage that Beterbiev was able to do on him. Did you hear any of those clips?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. Again, first off, let me just say props to Bebo for being classy in defeat. He didn't make no excuses. I know in that moment, if he felt he was a deserved winner, it's easy for you to say like I felt I won, and he took the high road, said what, no excuses, da da da. Gave props to his opponent. So that's classy in itself. Uh, for me, and I know that you're gonna say like, yeah, like these guys they're not gonna be emotional after the fight. They're not gonna be screaming like, I won or get overexcited. They're Russian, they're Eastern fighters. They're very stoic like that. But it was a little telling for me. If I'm used to seeing if a fighter wins, he raises his hand right away, and I didn't see that from Beterbiev. I saw it from Bebo more. So that also kind of gave me like, come on, like these guys, they're not gonna lie to themselves. The body language there is telling. So again, that's why I still feel like Bebo won 7-5. Um, again, love to see a running back. I will say to you, I feel like Beterbiev was not 100%. I feel like he was like 90%, 85%, and that's another reason why I feel like we will won. I feel like he did just enough, in my opinion, to steal the rounds, to win more rounds than Beterbiev. I feel if Beterbiev was 100%, he would have unleashed more damage. He would have, found an opening. Sure, he was tagging up Bebo, but not the destructive force that we're used to seeing. Again, when I checked my phone, I was like, I hope none of the boys tell me X person knocked out the expert fighter. When I saw the phone, no messages, I was like, okay, cool. This means like nobody got knocked out. That means Bivol went the distance. That's a win in itself. That tells you that he fought a great fight to make it the distance. Again, nobody has ever gone the distance with Beterbiev. Again, it just shows that the game plan wasn't 100% effective by Beterbiev. He could have done enough to win in a lot of people, in your view, and many other people's views. But something just tells me this fight should have gone towards Bivol.